Acts 10:9-29. The next day, as they went on their journey and drew near the city, Peter went up to the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. Then he became very hungry and wanted to eat. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven opened, and an object like a great sheet bound at the 4 corners descending to him and let down to the earth. In it were all kinds of 4-footed animals of the earth, wild beasts, creeping things, and birds of the air. And a voice came to him, "Rise, Peter, kill and eat." But Peter said, "Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything common or unclean." And a voice spoke to him again the 2nd time, "What God has cleansed, you must not call common." This was done 3 times, and the object was taken up again into heaven. Now while Peter wondered within himself what the vision which he had seen meant, behold, the men who had been sent from Cornelius had made inquiry from Simon's house, and stood before the gate. And they called and asked whether Simon, whose surname was Peter, was lodging there. While Peter thought about the vision, the Spirit said to him, "Behold, 3 men are seeking you. Arise, therefore, go down and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them." Then Peter went down to the men who had been sent from Cornelius, and said, "Yes, I am he whom you seek. For what reason have you come?" And they said, "Cornelius the centurion, a just man, one who fears God and has a good reputation among all the nation of the Jews, was divinely instructed by a holy angel to summon you to his house, and to hear words from you." Then he invited them in and lodged them. And on the next day Peter went away with them, and some brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And the following day they entered Caesarea. Now Cornelius was waiting for them, and had called together his relatives and close friends. As Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter lifted him up, saying, "Stand up, I myself am also a man." And as he talked with him, he went in and found many who had come together. Then he said to them, "You know how unlawful it is for a Jewish man to keep company with or go to one of another nation. But God has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Therefore I came without objection as soon as I was sent for. I ask then, for what reason have you sent for me?" Because Peter was told to eat something unclean, it is assumed that the Spirit instructed him to break God's law. Is that really what this text is about, though? So here we have a section where Peter receives a vision wherein he is instructed to kill and eat unclean animals by a heavenly voice. Certainly, God is telling Peter to grill up some pork chops, right? Let's take a close look at the text and see if this is really why God sent this vision to Peter. Verses 1-8, which I did not read, but are obviously the context of this chapter. I'll summarize. The chapter begins with a story about Cornelius, the God-fearing Gentile, praying. An angel comes to him and tells him his prayer was heard and that he should go look for Peter. It should be clear that the rest of the chapter is connected to this event. Verses 9-13, where we started reading, Peter is on the roof praying and is hungry. It is, after all, about midday and normal time for a meal. Peter then receives a vision of clean and unclean animals descending from heaven on a sheet, with the instructions to kill and eat, repeated 3 times. Verse 14. This is often overlooked. Peter immediately responds that he has never eaten anything common or unclean. This event happened roughly 10 years after Jesus ascended back to heaven. Did Peter miss the memo that everything is clean now? Or perhaps Jesus forgot to tell everyone, so he had to send an angel back? Or perhaps we should keep reading. Verse 15. What God has cleansed, you must not call common. This is the point of the vision. Keep it in mind as we continue. Verse 16. Repetition is a common method in Scripture to emphasize something. Thus, the vision is repeated 3 times. Verse 17a, the first half. Peter wondered what it meant, which tells us that it was not an obvious interpretation like we all seem to hear that it is today. Verse 17b through 28a. Coincidentally, while Peter considered this vision, 3 men sent from Cornelius, the Gentile, introduced at the beginning of the chapter, came to the gate seeking him. When he speaks to them, he hears about Cornelius' vision and travels with these men to meet Cornelius the next day. In Jewish culture, Gentiles were viewed as unclean simply because they were Gentiles, and they partook in several things that the law says are unclean. Because of this, it was not socially acceptable for a Jew to enter the house of a Gentile, amongst other things. This is why Peter says, "You know how unlawful it is for a Jewish man to keep company with or to go to one of another nation." This is also the same problem that Paul rebuked Peter for in Galatians 2:11-16. But Peter continues, God has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Now Peter understands the vision. The mixture of clean and unclean animals that Peter sees are the people that Peter is sent to preach to, Jews and Gentiles alike. It was shown to him 3 times to represent the 3 men seeking him. Peter's vision was written for our understanding as well. We should never discriminate who we preach to. The gospel is for all. When Peter finally understands the vision, you will notice he does not go out to the market to buy pork chops. He never mentions meat at all. The text never says anything about declaring unclean meat suddenly clean, but rather declaring so-called unclean people as clean. Verse 28. Who are we to reinterpret the vision to mean something completely different? To do so suggests that we can reinterpret Peter's vision better than Peter. This is not the first time God has used the act of eating things that are clearly not food as a metaphor to teach a greater point. God commands, for example, both Ezekiel and John in a vision to eat a scroll. Look at Ezekiel 3:1-4 and Revelation 10:8-10. This does not make scrolls food now. It's a vision. It's meant to represent something more significant.